diver, if you like. I do not even apply funny oils. And now, before we go to World Cafes, I'll invite mgeni wetu pia kutoka UK, all the way from UK. She's the manager, Future Fast Global, to make brief remarks. Takaful 1, Takaful 2, Takaful 3, Takaful 4. Abinex, welcome.
Age of 4, I decided that I wanted to marry. I haven't, but perhaps I should tell him now. Thank you very much to all of you for coming today. And thank you especially to our superstar panelists this morning who, at least for me, reminded me exactly why I do my job and exactly why I think we're all excited to do what we're doing at the moment. And I think Naomi's absolutely right. Transformation is completely painful, and it would be easy if we were all sitting there thinking someone else is going to do this, someone else might start an alumni association and I can become part of it, and that is easy, but that's not what you're doing. You're taking this, you're the leaders, you're taking it forward, and that's what's really exciting, and that's why we're here today. Last year we had our first alumni conference in a smaller room than this, and today we've got our second alumni conference, and it's 3 times bigger than our last year's. And not only is it 3 times bigger, but it's also, right now, the people in this room are making up the largest group of alumni leaders from government schools, public high schools, that have ever been in a room together. And I think that's really exciting. And now I want to challenge. I think next year we want it not just 3 times bigger again. So let's do that next year. Over the last 8 years, I've been working in alumni relations for the last 4 years in the UK, but also working with schools across the world, and we're really starting to see a bit of a shift. More schools, more alumni leaders than ever before are rightly so recognizing that alumni engagement and alumni communities can add tremendous value to schools. And what I also think is really exciting, we should probably count how many times I say the word exciting in this because it's probably my favorite word today. There's more alumni activity happening in Kenya than in any other country in the world. And so you're absolutely not just leading the rest of the country at the moment, but everyone else. So I think that's brilliant. But what I did want to do is I've got the pleasure to speak to schools, not just in Kenya, but in other parts of the world too, about some really exciting things that are happening, pockets of activity across the globe. And I wanted to share a couple of stories of those with you. One of them is this brilliant school that I've been speaking to, I've spoken to a few times this year, in eastern Uganda. And one of the challenges that they found, they've got a primary school and a high school actually. One of the challenges that they found is that they've got quite a lot of students who are going overseas to university. And the school and the support and the management are supporting these students to get into these universities, which is absolutely fantastic. But once these students start at these universities across the globe, and I spoke to one amazing woman actually who's studying in France at the moment, and she said, I had absolutely no idea what moving across the other side of the world was going to be like. I didn't know how to make friends, I didn't know how to speak French, I didn't know where to do my laundry, where to buy my groceries, and I think it's these things that actually are really part of the challenge. It's the pastoral support. And so what we've decided is actually, well, you know, if you found that challenging, then surely students in the future are going to find that challenging as well. So why don't we use that as the purpose for our alumni? Why don't we bring the alumni together who have gone to universities overseas, and they can make the lives of future students so much easier by just telling them a little bit about what to expect. And they're doing that now. They've got little chapters across the world where alumni who are going overseas immediately are starting to meet up with those who are already there. And it's amazing, and it's just absolutely one of the most incredible things about alumni engagement, to not just have that support and have that professional network, but also to have a network of friends across the globe. And then the other one is one that I witnessed personally in school in the UK, not my old school, but one that I went into. And this school, one of the challenges that they had was that the young people in the school were saying, okay, well, we get why we're at school, we get that we have to learn, but what's the point? Why am I learning all of this stuff in school? What's it leading to? And so to try and face that challenge and utilize alumni to match that, what they've done is starting bringing alumni into the classroom. So they've brought a journalist into an English class, they've brought an engineer into a maths class, and this journalist and this engineer are saying, well, this is why you're learning it in school. This persuasive writing, these English techniques, that as you're learning how to write, that's what I do now. That's why you're doing it. And the engineer is saying, well, you know those equations that you're learning now? I use those equations. I use them. When I'm designing bridges, I use those equations. And all of a sudden, you could see the students' the lights in the student's head just ticking and thinking, oh yeah, school does have a point. It's not just to get your exam results. It's actually this stuff that we're learning is really important. And of course, behind all of this stuff, there's the infrastructure. There's the WhatsApp groups, there's the database, there's the committee that you have, the Alumni Association, or if it's informal, your group of alumni leaders, and everything else you need to keep the house in order. But that's exactly why we're here today, because I know that it can be absolutely overwhelming at times and a real challenge. And you have those moments where you're in the classroom or you're in an assembly and you see the students tick, or you see that power of alumni in action. But from the day-to-day when you're not doing that, it's really hard, and it can often feel overwhelming, especially when you get pushback from the school or from the board of management or from other alumni. And it is really tough to keep going and to think, actually, if we don't do it, no one else is. And that's absolutely why we're here today, to come together to share best practice. And ultimately, no one's got it right yet. We don't know exactly how you should be doing it, and that's part of the challenge and beauty of the alumni network, is that every single network and community is different, and it's about getting to know yours and how it works and finding out how to organize it. And so for the rest of the afternoon, we've decided you've heard enough from us today, and so we're going to be breaking into groups. It's a bit of a logistical challenge, this one. We're going to be breaking into 4 groups so that you have a lot more opportunity to speak to each other and learn from each other. And so let me just have a look at my list. So I believe that everyone signed up for 2 sessions this morning. Can you raise a hand if you can remember which sessions you signed up for? Oh dear. Oh no. Okay. Well, we do have registers, so you can double check with us. I'm going to prompt you quickly. So we've got a session on volunteer management, which Pauline's going to be running. Pauline, could you stand up a second so everyone can see you? Pauline's going to be in this hall. So everyone's signed up to 2 sessions, half an hour each. You're going to have the first session with I'm going to tell you who's leading which session, and if you go with that person, you'll be with them for half an hour, and then you'll be prompted when to move around and go to your second session. So if everyone can remember what their first session is, we've got volunteer management with Pauline, we've got giving back with Wangari. Wangari, can you stand up, please? Is she in here? Oh dear. Okay. She's gone to her, so Wangari's going to be in a classroom, she's going to be talking about giving back. Kelvin is going to also be in the hall talking about the National Alumni Association, and then I'm going to be going into another classroom to talk about the alumni movement. So if you can remember which session you signed up for first, it'd be great if you could congregate around us and we'll take you where you need to be, and then someone will come and switch afterwards. And if you're not sure which ones you've signed up for, you can either come and check with us, or if you've got a particular session that you definitely want to go to, just join them. But thank you very much. Really look forward to hearing some more of your stories and getting to know some more of you this afternoon. Thank you. Right, Wangari, if you could stand over there by that screen. And so everyone who's going to do giving back, first, go and stand with Wangari. And I'm doing the alumni movement. Great. Yeah, let's get, oh dear. Let's get moving now. Thanks.
Team Kenya, you'll assist when switching after the first 30 minutes so that you can enjoy 2 sessions. So Abby team, you can go where Abby is. Team Kevin, Pauline, Wangari.
To those of you who are doing the alumni movement, could you meet me over by the door? Thanks.